Welcome to Trends on Thursdays, where I tell you about the trends I discussed with my clients this week. This week I'll talk about Amazon ads, Cannabis Money, cybersecurity, and Instagram. First up, according to Marin's digital advertising trends, most of the $300 billion plus a year digital ad spend still goes to paid search with almost 40%, but paid social has been cutting into the market share quite a bit and is in the number 2 spot, followed by display and YouTube ads. Personally, I'm not a big fan of display ads, but more interesting, e-commerce ads are catching up, with Amazon getting the biggest share. Amazon digital ad revenue is about $14 billion a year and steadily climbing. Most advertisers are still struggling with Amazon ads since audience data, techniques, and performance are different from most other ad platforms. Having said that, the Amazon ads platform is truly powerful if you're in the business of selling products, digital, retail, or even some B2B. Amazon can be fertile ground for you. Remember that 51% of households in the US have Amazon Prime, which is more households than have a landline or own a gun, by the way, or go to church once a month. Anyways, Amazon pay per click, also much cheaper for many products than Google AdWords, and of course, since it's a shopping platform, the commercial intent is much higher. And since we already have several clients taking advantage of Amazon ads, I am 99% of the way of being officially Amazon ad certified. So if you're in retail, hit me up, let's talk about it. Next, the cannabis space is super confusing even from the inside, but that's not CBD itself, that's the problem. The Senate Banking Committee had a hearing Tuesday that highlighted some of the problems that operators are facing. Cannabis, of course, still federally illegal, yet legalized in some form in over 30 states. The problem comes with banking and commerce in general. As one witness testified, if Walmart cashes a paycheck from a cannabis company in the state where it's legal, that money could federally be seen as derived from a criminal enterprise. At the same time, the FDA has sent a letter about CBD health claims to one provider, causing its products to be pulled off of CVS shelves nationwide. Mind you, it's not the product that's illegal, it's the health claims. And to complicate matters, going back to that Senate hearing, I found it interesting that cannabis research can cost a university its funding because they are, again, dealing with an illegal substance. Look, as one senator said, whether you agree with cannabis legalization as a whole, it's ultimately up to the people to decide, because that's who lawmakers represent, or they should at least. I expect lots of new laws, clarifications, standardization, and lobbying to be happening for a while, and it is an interesting space with lots of cash going around, and until the banking issues are addressed, literally cash. Anyway, next up, Louisiana has declared a statewide cybersecurity emergency yesterday, and it appears that a malware attack is affecting at least 3 different school districts. Knowing a bit about how these malware attacks work, I suspect it started with one, and there was quite a few people that knew each other and emailed each other on a regular basis, which means the guards are down, and as they say, the rest is history, and I suspect the school's data is toast. The problem is that a good bit of hacking tends to be social. Email addresses, caller IDs, Facebook profiles, they all evoke trust and make us feel safe, but they can all be spoofed. I saw a case the other day where a guy got a call from his bank security department to verify a transaction, and they allegedly wanted to make sure that it's him and he would get a verification code. He did and read it back to the person on the phone, except for the code that verified he was sending a wire. The caller clearly had gained access to their bank account and had all the info to pretend that he was with the bank and help himself to $5,000. I'm not even going to scare you with some of the deep fakes that are out there trying to scam major corporations out of millions. What I am going to say is trust but verify every step of the way, because criminals are getting more sophisticated, so businesses need to follow suit. One more, Instagram can be a little tricky these days, especially with things like stories, carousels, videos, IGTV, and it is not getting any easier if they go through with hiding likes, because like it or not, likes are social proof, and the more likes something has, the more likes it'll get. It's basically the reverse of retail shelves. In retail, nobody wants the last of something, and it pays to have the shelves stocked as much as possible. On Instagram, it's almost like nobody wants to be the first like. Anyways, carousel posts get significantly less engagement than single picture posts, for example. And when I say significantly, up to 70% less. Stories, on the other hand, are still on fire, with as many as 20% of stories resulting in a DM. You can, of course, make your stories even more interactive with polls, stickers, questions, and so forth. And by the way, 60% of stories are viewed with the sound on, so definitely a reason to work sound into the equation. Of course, Instagram can feel a little harder than Facebook. More restrictions in between the regular feed, stories, and IGTV. It feels like I'm having to deal with 3 different products, but the consumer likes it more and more, and that's really what matters in the end. Anyways, that's it for this week's Trends on Thursdays. If you enjoyed this video, please share it with somebody that could use some trends in their business. I'll be back Monday with my thought starter. Until then, I'm Tobias Wilhelm.